times, and I'll show you him in action. Sandy? Baseball superstar Jose Canseco. Yes. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Havana, Cuba, but I was raised in Miami, Florida. Came over when I was about 9 months old, so I've been 25 and a half years in the United States.
Yeah, before we talk about baseball, where did you develop the love for bowling?
That's something I used to do when I was real young with my brother and a couple of friends. Just go out and have some fun. It was something that was basically inexpensive that everyone can do. I really picked it up again about 2 months ago. I even got myself so far involved with it that I'm even sponsoring a pro bowler now named James Gibson.
Yeah. I mean, are you really into it? Do you have your own shoes and stuff? You still rent? I mean, how much into it are you?
Yeah, my own shoes, my own ball, and basically learning how to bowl the way the pro bowlers bowl.
You ever wondered why they didn't put holes for all the fingers in the bowling ball? Just some, I don't know. What's your average?
I'm averaging about 190.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Let's talk about a Sports Illustrated quote. They said that you were the male Madonna. What do you think? What do you think they meant by that?
Well, I think the main thing they meant, of course, speaking about Madonna, she's a trendsetter, a person who's really speaks out about things, is not scared to face her life and say her opinion, strongly opinionated. I'm the type of person that if I do something wrong, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to hide from certain subjects. And I think a lot of times communication and the truth is the way to help everyone out.
Yeah. Do you get along with the press?
I do now. Before, I never really got along with the press. The reason why I think they really misunderstood me. I can remember a long time ago when I was, I think, in Double-A baseball. I was just standing there. I had a great game, a couple home runs, 2-3 home runs. And I heard in the background one of the press people say, can Jose Canseco speak English? I mean, did he just come off the boat? I mean, they really didn't know anything about me. They had no ideas about me. So as of today, I've given a lot more time towards the press. I'm sure even my wife can say this. I'm probably the last one to come out of the locker room each and every day because I think the press is really interested not just what Jose Canseco is about on the field, but what I'm about off the field.
Yeah. You're a tough athlete, but have you ever found yourself hurt by something the press said?
A lot of times being misunderstood. The press and some individuals have said some nasty things about me that really aren't true. I've had no basis for it. I can remember one incident, and I'll never forget this, Thomas Boswell still with the steroid incident that came out. You know, I'd like to clarify that a little bit. He came out on national TV and downright said that I took steroids and I'm a typical steroid taker. During the spring training of the same year, he approached me and apologized to me, saying, I'm sorry that I said all these things. I didn't know that it was going to cause such a commotion. He's a gentleman with a lot of experience in that field, and he should have known that a player of my caliber, hitting the home runs, making a name for myself. It was just after the '88 season when I had just accomplished the 40 home runs and the 40 stolen bases. Tied the record for home runs in the playoffs against the Boston Red Sox. And I think the timing was really poor because he really tried to diminish or undermine the season that I had had. So it was something that he apologized for, but it still lingers.
Yeah. Yeah, because all the people that hear it, they don't all hear the retraction.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
You've used the word misunderstood twice, so let's hit on it. Give me another example of how, because we know you through the press. Give me another example of how you're misunderstood.
Well, another example is, of course, in the charity aspect. Jose Canseco can be driving down the street. I can remember these things just after the '88 season when I just had my first big contract at $1.5 million. Going down the street, being caught with a tinted window. It's over all over the world. Even they know it in Japan. Jose Canseco will do a charity for a family. Where I did a JO fund, spent 6-7 hours signing consistently. You won't hear about it. That's just the way the press has hurt me in the past. I think the press is understanding me more lately, and it's really trying to use both sides of Jose Canseco now.
Yeah. Is there anything, if you could think of one thing, anything you would take back that you've ever said in public or to the press?
I don't think I would ever take anything back. The reason is, when I speak, I try to analyze before I say anything to the press. A lot of times, in my opinion, of course, it may not be true, but that's the way I feel. I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna hide. If I'm asked something, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna tell them exactly how I feel.
We all, like in what we do, we get excited. There's heat of passion. There's excitement. There's champagne being poured. There are all kind of things going on, especially in the life of an athlete. There has to be something maybe that you said, oh gosh, that's, because we're human,
Well, maybe something that was taken out of context.
Yeah.
But nothing really. I'm really the type of person who's quiet at times. I'm not real boisterous. I won't try to rah this or tell somebody I'm this player or that player. I just try to show people what type of guy I am. Go out there and do my job, and that speaks for itself.
Yeah. Let's take a commercial and come right back with Jose Canseco. You are currently the highest paid baseball player in the game, right?
Yes.
That must put a lot of pressure on you.
I think the players themselves don't put pressure on each individual. I think a lot of pressure comes from the media. It comes from the fans. I can remember this year, being out 2 months out of the season, hitting the 37 home run, driving 101 runs, hitting 275 for a batting average. My first 2 years couldn't even compare to that. And just because of the salary that I was making this year, I was getting really booed by my own home fans. The pressure is just an exterior pressure that's always added from something you have no control over. I think the true superstars in the game of baseball will not add pressure to themselves. They'll work hard at it and apply it.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm just naive because I'm not an athlete, but it just seems like when you're making that kind of money and you find yourself in the World Series, it seems like you beat yourself up and have it all on your shoulders, because it seems like most winners I know, they're their biggest critics.
Exactly. I think they're their biggest critics, but they're also their best friends at times. The pressure is definitely there. Like I said, a lot of times the game of baseball is probably 80 physical and 20% mental. If you don't have your head on right, I don't care how much of a physical specimen you are, I don't care how much you know the game of baseball, you will not succeed in this game.
Are you getting along with the fans now? I mean, because of this sweep, did you want to, go away somewhere to an island? Because if they were booing you before that, they must be giving you a lot of grief now.
Yeah, they're giving me a hard time. I think it's nothing personal. I think it comes with the territory of making almost $5 million a year.
Yeah.
You're expected to do more. You're expected to really be that leader that the team looks forward to. And really, if you don't go out there and do your job, you're going to be the one that's going to hear it.
And I guess to top it all off, you got your dad, who, now this might not be true, but I hear your dad still pays you like $5 a home run like when you were little?
Yeah, he's adding on to that $5 million salary. A little bit here, a little bit there. So I make a little bit over that. So since we were little, I can remember I guess since we started playing organized baseball, when we were 12 years old, my father used to pay us $5 a home run.
Yeah.
I guess it was just, I don't know, an incentive or, you know, it helps when you're little, 12, 13 years old, you hit a couple home runs a day. You get $10. Hey, you go to Burger King or something.
Does he still actually send you the money, though?
He still pays me. As a matter of fact, he's kept that up during 10, 15 years. And I guess it's something you get used to it. It's something that runs in the family. I don't mind it.
You said we, and I assume you mean your twin brother.
Right. My brother now, he's been a hitter now for 2 years. He started off as a pitcher. He went the route of pitching during the high school. He was drafted as a pitcher with the New York Yankees. He had some problems with the Yankees. He had some problems with his arm. He's really a newcomer at playing outfield and hitting. But he's got a lot of talent, a lot of ability, a lot of power. So hopefully he'll get a break somewhere.
Yeah. I got a feeling that pretty lady there is one of your best friends, too, huh?
That's my wife, Esther.
Yeah.
And also next to her is Mr. and Mrs. Bonilla, a good friend of mine, Bobby Bonilla, who he's a bowler.
Very talented athlete and bowler.
He's got probably a 200 bowling average, so that's the man I'm going to bowl against probably tonight.
Ah, that should be we should go see that.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Be a good match. She looks so cute. Is that the lady that called your coach a punk?
Actually, she called him something worse, but we won't discuss it.
Well,
No,
can you give us initials? I mean, like...
Well, I think at the heat of the moment, just like you mentioned before.
Would you
Game four of the World Series, I was not starting. I had my back problems for the last 3 or 4 months. And, you know, women, a lot of times, like my wife, they like to see me out there. They like to play. They like to see myself play. And I guess she got a little bit over-emotional and called him something. I know it wasn't a punk. I know it was something worse.
It was something worse,
Yeah.
Now, because of your back, did you want to be in?
I've played with a bad back this whole full year. Like I said, I missed 2 months of the full season. I was in traction in the hospital. I played with a lot of pain. My wife can attest to that, sleeping 1 hour a night sometimes, sometimes not even sleeping at all, losing 10, 15 pounds. And I don't think really the media or the fans understood that. A player playing with those injuries at the time, missing so much time, still putting up the stats that he put up. It's really difficult to do. And I guess a lot of people didn't understand that, and I really caught a lot of hell for it.
But did you want to be in? When she said you should be in, he was a punk for not putting you in. Did you want to be in?
Definitely. I definitely want to play every day, day in, day out. Like I said, I played with tremendous back pain, with back braces at the time. People didn't really know. But you really don't hear that in the media because a lot of times in this game, you have to grind it out.
So he is a punk.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We'll be back with more from Jose Canseco. Yes. Dave Stewart, is he a good friend of yours?
Definitely, yeah. We're really good friends.
Is there any truth to the, and I know betting is illegal, but between friends, it's fun. Is there any truth to that bet you all had?
Yeah, there's definitely truth to it. I think the bet was done in 86 or 87. It was a while back. I guess he bet me $10,000 I wouldn't get married because I was so young at the time.
And I'm sure there were other reasons why he made the bet about you, Jose. I mean, no, you're a handsome guy. Ladies loved you. He probably didn't think you would ever come off the market.
Well, I think the main concern was I was very young. I think I was 22, 23 at the time. And I seemed to show up spring training with a different girl every time. So.
That guy's living through you, Jose.